Welcome back, guys. As I've explained to us, all right, that we'll look at some measures, and then afterwards we will work on a dashboard, all right, with Excel, right. So let's get started. So the first that I want us to calculate here is total sales, all right. Total sales. So we'll do sum of total sales. So our formula. So here, as I told us, you put your name in the formula bar, all right, and ensure that when typing the name, semicolon first before equals to, and then there is a DAX function called sum, all right, a lot of them. So sum the total sales. So immediately you pick total sales. I told us that the table name precedes the column, all right, and you pick, and that gives you okay. So all you can do is total sales measure or something, so that it doesn't have the same name with the okay. So that is done. You can see immediately you have it down here, right? So later on we'll format it, all right. So these are total sales. So let's also do total discounted sales. So another place again, total. So you can also edit it. Let's say I want to change it to, let me say, totals underscore, right? Total underscore sales. Hit enter. Then this total discounted sales, all right. Total discounted sales, that is still sum of discounted sales now, right? And that gives us total discounted sales. So it's like it's showing on error here. Let's see. Okay, it's saying error. So let's see where the error is coming from. Okay, so let's check discounted sum of so let's pick this, all right. So it's showing us error. So what could the error be? Function sum takes argument that evaluates to numbers or dates and cannot work with type string. So the type of this guy is string. So we're having issues with that. So what we can even do first is to come to design. Is it okay? So let's see. I think there should be a way we can change um the data type from here, all right. So the data type is in string. That's why we are getting that error. So but I believed I believed it was in the right uh it was in the right format when before we imported to Power Pivot, right? So but let's confirm. Okay, so we change the data type at O, right? Let's make it decimal number. So that will correct that error. Okay, so first this is decimal, decimal, decimal. All right, so meaning let's go back. So it's saying we have to change the query first. So we can go back, all right, come to this, you come to data, all right. We can say queries and connections, all right. So to see the queries we did, all right, from there we'll come here, all right, and change this guy to decimal number, and then we close and load, all right. So you can see it's creating connection. So that will have collected that error. Now you can now go back to Power Pivot, manage data, all right. So you can see instantly, even without making any changes, the changes have been made. All right. So what else can we create here? All right. We can do average daily sales, right? Average daily sales, because this is order date, right? So we can do average daily sales. So how do we do average daily sales? So very simple. Average daily sales will be, there is a function called average x, right? So don't forget to put semicolon, if not. All right, average x. So now we already have a date table. All right, so all we just need to do is go to our date table and bring it here. So that is values. No, now there is another function called values. All right, values, what values does is, now average x is asking us for a table here. All right, but we want to provide every date, right? So date, want to provide with the date column of the date table. So because we are providing with a column, we have to use a function to make that column a table. Let me just simply say. So how do we make that column a table is what we are doing now. So how do we make that column a table? So we'll use values, another DAX function, and then we'll wrap it around that date of calendar date. All right. So you notice that I'm not picking the date from this table here, from the sales table. I'm picking it from calendar. Why? Because we already created a relationship between calendar and sales data. So it's very, very important that we um that we that we pick any date dimension from the date table. All right, so it makes it dynamic, and that's the best practice. So I pick that. So all right, we're not done. Okay, so now you can now see this guy now as a table. So values, all right, comma. Now it now asks us for the expression. So we want to do average daily sales. So average, this date part does the daily, and then the expression is average daily sales for of the total sales, right? So no, sorry, total sales. So you will see that there is something here. The measures don't come with the table name. So whenever you see a square bracket expression without the table name first, you should know that that is a measure. So it doesn't come with the table name. So that's a measure. All right, you close that. That gives us the average daily sales. All right. This is giving us the same thing with the total sales. Let's check. Okay, let's check the total sales first. Is it right? Okay, so yes. Okay. Okay, I'll check that again, but that this should be giving us the average daily sales. All right, we can also say, let's say we want to do average monthly or average yearly sales, right? So you want to say average yearly sales is as simple as, so you just pick the year column as well. All right, average x. Okay, average yearly sales. So again, average x. Right, so you pick, as I said, values, wrap it around the year of the calendar. All right, comma, the expression is total sales. So this gives the average yearly sales. All right, so we need to probe this. Why are we getting the same answer? All right. All right. I just noticed something from the relationship. When we drag this the other time, it was on a one to many. So we have three relationships. It's either it is one to many to one, or many to many. All right, many to many is seldom used, but one to many and many to one is common. So this is the date table, and every date in this date table is unique, right? Compared to this one that can be repetitive based on how many others were raised. All right. So in this case now, we should have having one to many, not many to one. So we need to delete this relationship. Let's delete it. Delete, and then let our dragging start from here. All right. So from the many side, so many to one. So let's check now. I believe okay, fine. Our measure has changed now. So let's change this back to other date. All right. So you even know from what you are doing if there is any error. So that is that. So okay, you can see now that average daily sales has changed, right? So average yearly sales is also correct. So let's also do average monthly sales, right? Average monthly sales, right? So average monthly sales will be the same way, average x, all right. Average x, all right. Then the table name as usual, values, all right. But in this case, we will now pick the month, year, this month, year, column, all right, comma, and then of course this total sales, total sales, total sales, right? So that gives us the average monthly sales, right? So let's also do, we can so we'll still format, all right. Let's also do sales last year, total sales last year, right? You know we have 2 years. There's total sales last year, so meaning we want to know the sales last year, right? So all we can do is, there are two functions that we can use. We can use same period last year, or we can use date add. So I will try I will try both, and you see the answers, right? So same period last year. So here we can use calculate. The calculate function. So the calculate function is a very powerful DAX function that can be used. So when we start Power BI, all right, I will give us more detail about these calculate functions and give us a bit more material on that. But just know that calculate is so powerful. Is the most powerful DAX function, all right, because it's it does filter transition, right? So context transition. So does context transition. So I will explain that. Don't bore yourself with that for now. Just know what it does, right? So I want to do sales last year. So the first thing is the expression, which is total sales, right? Total sales. Now ask me for what is my filter. So I can now use same. You can this same period last year is a time intelligence function in DAX. So when we start Power BI, you will see what I was trying to do. What I'm saying about time. I will give a video that explains this more detailed, right? So the reason why I won't be spending more time here is because what this does is the same thing as what Power BI does. All right, this Power Pivot. So even Power BI does it better. So there's no need for us spending much time here, right? So same period last year. So same period last year is the time intelligence function that returns this uh, date for last year, right? So it only takes one argument, which is the date. So you just put in your date there. So sales. So and you close your expression. Hit enter. You can expand this just so that you can see. So if you look at the sales last year, this is what you have. So this is same period last year. So you can use this. So or let's use this another formula again. Sales last year. All right. Um. So so calculate as well. Calculate total sales, right? Total sales. Now we'll now use what we call date add. Date add is just to subtract or add date, right? It asks for the date column, then it asks for the number of interval. So we want it -1, that is last year. So we now pick the interval. Is it in days or you get it? So we now pick it in year. Alright, so it's in year, and then we hit enter. You can see that if you check here, you can see that it's the same thing, right? 17988, 17988. So these are possibilities, right? So we can also do like say we want to know year to date. Like this is 2022 and we are in March. We want to know total sales year to date. So when you say year to date, that is from January 1st till today, year to date. So there are two ways as well. Is either you use so sales, total sales, total sales year to date, YTD. So it's either you say you either use the time intelligence function called year to date. So there is one so year to date. So you can see that it's total year to date. All right, and then it takes the expression. That of course the expression is total sales. All right, comma, and it takes the date, right? So it takes the date. So that's all these take, the total sales and then the date, and you are done. And that gives you the year to date. So for this year now, all right, the year to date is 15,337. All right, or you can also for year to date you can also use date year to date. All right, so let me do the total sales DTD DYTD. So date, there is one. So the same thing. So here now, instead of using total, here that we have instead of using total year to date, you now have to use calculate. All right, you now have to use calculate, put the expression total sales. All right, comma, the filter now is date year to date. So there is a date year to date function that you can now use, pass the date. All right, that you can now pass the date into year end date. So just pass the date and that will be all. Right, so you can see it's still giving you the same thing. So there are different approaches to everything you want to do. All right, you can also do running total, right? So let's say running total sales. So running total sales is just like cumulative, right? Or cumulative sales, right? So you want it to be so for example, if you made 200 naira sales today and we made 300 naira the next day, so the running total is what, 500, right? Like that, so it adds up that, just like cumulative sales. So to do that, all right, so cumulative sales. All right. So to do that, the same you can use calculate. So that's why I said calculate is so powerful. Total sales total sales. Now in your second argument, right, you now say because we want to, so you now pick filter. All right, you now use the filter function. So filter is just to filter a table. All right, it's to filter a table, but it takes two arguments. It takes the table and the filter expression. Don't worry, we'll still talk more about all these functions. So but note that filter, it's used to filter a table, all right, from the name, and it takes the table and expression just from what you can see. So you take the table, but the table now is your date, all right, because you want to do per day, running total per day. So you can use or with your date, because you know I told you whenever you are passing a column to a table, to an expression that requires a table, is either you use values or all, right? So you can use values or all here. So but let's use all of the date, right? Then filter when date, all right, when the date when date is less than or equal to maximum of the date. So what does that mean? So what we are saying here is filter the date, but I want us to be when the date is less than or equal to max of days. So meaning for every time, so if I'm on the, if today is 7th, filter for just from the beginning of the date till till today. If it is tomorrow, from beginning of the day till tomorrow, so meaning max, the max of the day I am presently. So that's why this is this way. You hit enter and you have your cumulative. So you can see that cumulative sales is the same thing, but you can see that the reason is because in this our calendar, what you have is just 2020 and 2021. So even though our total sales is 33, so our cumulative will still be 33 something. Okay, the same value. All right. But if to say we are in 2022 now, and this data is uh showing, okay, let's say yeah, let's say okay, you see it when I apply it now. So let's say we are in 2022, for example. Cumulative sales, we always, it will most likely will always be, it's not even most likely, it is always going to be the same thing with the total sales. The only difference comes when we now use it in a table. So you now see how it differs, right? Um, so we've done a lot of measures. All right, total sales last year, this that. Okay, so okay, so I think this is good for us, right? So let's proceed now and use these guys to create a dashboard in Excel. Wow! So what do? We come to pivot table. All right, you choose any type of options you want. So but for now, let's just use pivot table, and then we see. So we want it on a new sheet because we are creating a dashboard, right? So on a new sheet. So this can come here, right? Let's move this here. All right, you will see now that you have two tabs, active and all. So active means what you want to use. Now all is just all the tables. So these are all the tables we worked with so far. All right, this one here is the one in the data model. That's how you see that beside it you have a small cube around it. This one is the normal data that we have. You will see now this one does not contain, this is just the normal table. All right, so for this case now, what we need is this table here, because it is was on this table that we created our measures. So if we expand this now, you see these are measures. FX, these FX guys are measures, right? So these are measures. So we can click on these guys, or even from that side we can always edit them. So let's move this guy now. let's move this guy to the active. Show, you right click and say show in active. So immediately when you come to active, you now see this guy here, right? So this is good enough. So one advantage of measure is you can reuse it and it's very fast. So to build my dashboard, first let me remove grid lines. Wow, so that it looks nice, right? So I want to ensure that this becomes my what? This is, so first I want this area, so first I want this area to be for my dashboard, right? So I can come to home and then insert border around that, right? Just outside borders. All right, so there is a border around this. So let me do something. Let me insert a space here. All right, insert, so that we can have something like a barricade around. So you can see this will form. So I want my title to be here. So I can make this also around the border, so that I know that that's where my title will be. All right. So let's say so let's say, so you can arrange how you want your, so let's say for example I want to plot, I would like to plot a chart here, right? So so I'm trying to arrange. So let's say I want to put a table here, right? A table showing the region, and let's say I want to put a table that is showing region. All right, so let's say here. So okay, let's say here I want to put the table here. Okay, let's reduce it a bit. No, let it start from here. Okay, I think this is nice. Let's put a border around that as well. You can see. So let's say I want to put here, I want to put a pie chart. All right, just to show something. All right. All right, so you see this is making a whole lot of sense, right? So let's say I'm using two slicers. All right, so I can say okay, I'm using slicers. Okay, so let me, for slicers I can say okay, I'm using, there's one slicer here. All right, and then another slicer, right? So how many sheets are this? Just three. So let me take another three. All right, to make another slicer. All right. So so let's say I want to show uh, a bar chart here. All right. All right. So include that, and then so let's say what I want, just want to show here is the categories. All right, you can see categories by the product. All right, and then I want to see the total sales. So you can see how easy it is. You don't need to have to rename. So it brings up the name of your measure directly. All right. So the categories, you can see these are the categories, and then these are um so I can let's say that is what I want to show there. I can copy it, and then probably I can just paste here again. Let's say here now I want to see the cities, all right, and the regions, all right. So same thing as total sales, so by total sales, for example. So that's what I want to see there. So I want to see all the cities and their total sales. All right, so let me copy this again. Let me paste here. So let's say I want to see the product now. All right. So let me see the date. All right. The other date. So you can see this extended. All right. But I don't want to see it by dates. So I can come here and like what I told us and group, right? So I just want to see the months. So that gives me just the months. For what I have here, let me put border all through. For what I have here, let's put border all through. Let's insert. Alright, let's close this, let's delete. Alright, so this is making sense, right? Also, let's insert here. So what I'm just doing is just kind of formatting, right? Making it look nice. So say I have this. So I don't want to see this inside of it. So first let me remove this, and then second let me put something of this nature. Put on the top as well. Then let me put by this side. Great, we have this. So for this as well, let's put by this side. Alright, great. For this, let's put by this side. So great, this looks nice, right? So we can reduce this, we don't need it to be that much. Just want to create a space, right? So we can also do something. Let's insert a row here, right? Insert, so that there is a space. All right, let's say we want to do a title. So this makes sense, right? So we can even remove the date, so we just want to see the months. So let's reduce this as well to make it rhyme. Alright, so this is making sense now. So for this, we'll make it, put it on top, yeah. So this is great for this by the side. Yes, great. So this is making a whole lot of sense, right? So so in this case I can say okay, okay, so I can just merge all this together. All right, merge, just click and say, or you can just call me merge. So everything is merged and say, let's put our title here. um, sales dash sales dashboard. Control A, increase it, let's say to 24. Okay, let's make it 20. All right, we can so I think this makes sense. All right, here we said we want to insert, so we can come and say insert pivot chart. Use this data model. So we are using this, use this data model. So because we are not using table and you want to use the data model, right, in that cell. So okay, you ask me, so I can bring it. I want my pivot chart here. So the same way, you just move this guy to active. All right, so it's in active. So we said we want to show a bar chart here, right? So a bar chart showing let's say you want to show the city, all right, by discounted sales. So that gives, so we expand it to fill up a side. All right, you can shift that. All right, so here as well we want to insert slicer. All right, so come to insert, so slicer. All right, so we say from this connection open. Okay, let's click on any of the visual. So insert slicer, so you click on any of the visual. So we want to insert slicer on category, right? Okay, so let's bring the slicer here. All right, and then fill it up to make sense, right? So that forms a slicer there. Okay, we can, I think we should even delete this and let it just let them marry themselves. All right, I think it even does even make sense. So let's insert another slicer, as we said. Insert slicer. Let's say you want to insert, sorry, click on any of these visual, insert. Let's say you want to insert slicer on region, right? All right, so this makes a lot of sense now. All right, so you can come here So alright, I think this is looking nice now. So we can also insert timeline. So insert, click on any of the visual. So timeline, right? So timeline is always on date. Click OK, and then insert that. So let's bring this here. Uh, we want it on months. Okay, so let's make it the year. Let's make it the year. All right. So the year, but now. Uh, so size and properties. Can reduce the size. Let's see properties. So we can let's just leave it this way. What we can do, I want us to. So we can also delete this guy here. Let's just marry them. Alright. Things looks nice. So what we can do is we can increase this. Alright, so that it can accommodate this. Can even make it months now. So can even make it months now. This looks nice. Nice. But it's not showing. So what we can do, so let's just do quarter, right? Let's unclear filter. I think month looks nice, right? So something of this nature. uh, we can, let's see, we do this, we can, so we can just insert a box here, all right, or maybe a picture, stock images, just to fill up what we have there. Let's say we want something on sales. Sales. So we're talking about groceries, right? So uh, let's pick this. Let's insert. Alright. So you can just insert this here. Alright. Just to fill up spaces. Alright. So we can give this a color, like maybe a black color. Alright. So it doesn't really show that deficiency. So this looks a lot better. Alright. Um, For this, let's just expand this as well, right? Fuse that, right? So let's close this connection so that we can see a broader view of our. So let's remove filter from here. So this is looking nice. It's looking good. Let's expand this to fill up. Alright, so that it makes sense. Let's reduce this a bit. Alright, it's filling up now. This has to also fill up here. Then this fills up here. So these are our slicers. So we said we can insert. So let me fill this up. Yes. So let's insert it like time chart here. So let's see. Oh, I even forgot all our average, all this. So insert pivot charts. So line chart now using our model. Oh, I don't think we picked. Okay, using our model, you can still pick this. Let's expand this. Alright, so we have this. Then we want to see by date. Alright, so we have to show our calendar inactive, and then this guy also inactive. So by the dates, we want to see, so we can minimize this. We want to see cumulative sales. So the trends of cumulative sale. You can see what we have. So you can right click. We don't need this chart. You can say change chart type. Alright, change series chart type. So we want it to be a line chart. Alright, so we want a line chart. So we want to see cumulative, and then we want to see total year to date, right? Year to date. I want to see how that trend goes. Alright, let's say we want to see last year as well. So to see last year as well. Last year is overlapping with that, so I think this is nice. So here we said we want to see pie chart, right? Pie chart. So you can insert. Alright, pivot charts. Okay, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Alright, show inactive tab, show inactive tab, come to active tab, minimize this. We want to show the region by discount by total sales, right? Total sales. Alright, so but we don't need this. We have to change chart type. Change chart type. Want pie chart, right? So this looks nice, right? So it's in the east that we have the best of sales, and here I said you just want to show a table, right? So just say insert pivot. So let's just insert a pivot table from the model. You have to ensure that you click use this for Google data model, right? And then existing sheets. Okay, so here we just want to show a table of our sales data, show inactive tab. Then we just want to see the dates. Alright, we want to see it against average daily, average monthly. Let's remove average daily, average monthly, or maybe discounted sales, right? So let's group this to involve just a month, because what we are showing is just average monthly. So you can see the average monthly. Let's also look at period last year. Let's see, and maybe we can also see um, cumulative, right? So that you see how it works, right? So we have to drag this. So what's wrong? This was not supposed to be here. So let's close this up. Let's close this up. So let's close that up. This is not bad here. Alright. Can also close it up so that it will look nice. So we just reduce this. Alright. Let's reduce this. What we are ensuring is that it takes the shape that we want. So let's remove, let's take this, let's remove this. Alright, let's come down, let's add this bottom line here. Alright, then you can personally just ensure this is like this. Alright, increase this a bit. It's looking nice. So let's remove one of them that we have space. Okay, that was why there was space. You still have to reduce it and just bring it back. So let's just do it this way. And add the border around. Alright, let's join this together. Let's mark this and give it a black. so that it doesn't disfigure that side. This, let's remove button there. This, let's remove this. Let's remove this. Alright, and then we can add this here. So if I reduce this, you see the beauty more, right? So this looks nice. So we can like I said every time, so outside. So now we can give this guy a color, background color, right? This looks nice. But we have to be consistent with our color. Let's say we're giving it this, or let's make it a bit darker, and then our sails, let's make it white. Alright, so we can make it bold. Looks nice, right? Wow, what a lovely dashboard. So let's also give these guys border. So you can see outline. Let's make it black. Alright, outline black. Wow, this looks nice, isn't it? So we have to still expand this. Expand this. Expand this. Let's close this up by making these guys share the spot. Alright, wow, our dashboard is almost ready. Our dashboard. So now what is left is for us to remove clusters. Clusters are things that will not make your data nice. So for this, we can also remove this guy, and then we can right click. Okay, you can come to this plus sign here and add data labels, right? So you can add data labels. Alright, legends, we don't need legend, it's just one thing that we are showing, so don't need legends. I can come here and say, okay, remove all field buttons, hide all field buttons. So it hides that so that there is space. Alright, so you can give this sales by city. Alright, sales by city. Alright, so that should be black. Alright, let's make that black, and then maybe a bit bold. Alright, sales by city. So consistency is very key in your data. Alright, you have to be consistent. So you can see that this looks like a dashboard now, right? This is how to build dashboards in Excel. So you see that this makes a lot of sense. So you can beautify it more, but what is very key So sales by city, this one too I can remove, hide off few buttons. All right, I wouldn't want those few buttons too. And then of course this category I can hide that. All right, so this makes a bit, so this line here I can also remove it. All right, so that's how I see that the clusters are removed. All right, so I think this looks very nice. This looks very nice. So the next thing now is to ensure that your data is being filtered by all the tables. So for this, you right click. So you can name your what? Your pivot tables, all pivot tables, pivot table options. Name it average table. All right, average table. Control A. It's not highlighting. Average table, right? Let's name this line chart. Okay, let's name this pie chart. It's just by clicking, right clicking and saying pivot table options. All right, pivot table options, bar chart. All right, region filter, region table. All right, city table. All right, this month table. So I think we've done justice to all of them. So the next thing is, you can see that here is filtering through just these two, right? Just this bar chart here. This is just filtering just the bar chart. This is just filtering just the bar chart. So and we need it to filter through everything. So what we need to do is right click and scroll to report connections. So I want to connect my report to all the tables. Connect my slicer rather to all the tables, so that anytime I'm working on, I do any filter, it filters through everything. You can see now, so you can now see that it's filtering to everything. You can see that there is everything is filtering. You can see everything is filtering now. If I clear filter, it returns it to what we have initially. So the same thing for this. I'll say there's a disruption. This is not equal, right? So let's just so what we can do is we can highlight, right, and come to view and say free space, so that it does not move, right? So that it helps us try to stabilize our dashboard. Alright, so this looks a lot nicer. So we have to ensure that all filters are filtering through every of the reports. So this as well Okay, so remain the date. So all the slicers and the timelines must be connected, right? So report connection as well. So let's ensure it's connected, right? So when you are filtering through months, everything is connected. So if I pick September, I can see everything connected. November, you can see that it's filtering through our data. So this is a dynamic. So we want to uh, clear filter. Just click on that for there, and everything returns to normal. So what we've just done is we just built a dashboard, a dynamic dashboard. So let me rearrange. So all we have just done, so I can remove this as well, this small portion. Let me remove that line there. So can I just remove that? So I think this makes a lot of sense. Alright, so this is how to build, so it makes sense. Alright, so what you can do, what I need you to do is you can format all this, but to format is not hard. We have our measures already. It's just for us to do what? Edit measures. Alright, and then come to currency here. Alright, and that does that straight away for us. Whether you have the anywhere you have it, you can see that it has affected it. I will do that for all. Edit measures, currency. Okay, so wherever you have all those measures, it corrects them and put it in the right format. Edit measures. So every measures we've used will be corrected and formatted in the right format. So you can hide this. You don't need this. So let's just alright. So this looks nice, right? This looks nice. So we've built a dashboard with Excel, an interactive dashboard, right? So you can name it. So, but this is a lot better when you're doing it with Excel, right? Sorry, with Power BI, right? Power BI is a lot better. It's a lot dynamic. You can do a lot of things. So I think this is a lot better. So this is how you build reports in Excel. So I think at this point we've been able to cover much on Excel. So see you on Saturday, and ensure you attempt the assignment. Please ensure you attempt the assignment. It will help you a lot. It will help you a lot. It will help you a lot. Alright. to appear a lot. Alright, so let me give it the same color so it makes sense to appear a lot. So this makes sense. So see you. Bye.